There is a psychological trap that almost every high-achieving, deeply caring woman falls into when she really likes a guy. She starts trying to prove her value. She becomes the flawless communicator, the master event planner, the emotional rock, essentially auditioning for a role she hasn't even been hired for yet. Now, on paper, this sounds amazing. If you're being sweet, attentive, and incredibly helpful, any guy should be falling at your feet, right? Wrong. In fact, biologically and psychologically, it usually does the exact opposite. As a man, let me let you in on a little secret that most guys will never admit to you over dinner. Men are hardwired to value what they have to earn, not what they are handed on a silver platter. When you try to secure a man by doing more for him, you accidentally trigger his psychological chase and retreat mechanism. You shut off his attachment switch. Today, we are breaking down the exact behavior you need to stop doing immediately if you want him to text first, plan ahead, and realize he can't afford to lose you. Put down the clipboard, stop managing his life, and let's talk about how male psychology actually works. The modern trap, the overfunctioning woman. Let's define the trap. In relationship psychology, there's a concept called overfunctioning. It happens when one person takes 100% of the emotional responsibility for a connection that is only 50% theirs to build. Look, I get it. You meet a guy, the chemistry is electric, and you want to make sure it works out. So your nurturing instincts kick into overdrive. You start booking the dinner reservations because he's busy. You drive to his side of town every single time because his traffic is worse. You send the "Good morning, hope you have a bright and sunny day" texts every single morning before he's even opened his eyes. You think you're showing him what a great partner you'd be. But do you want to know what's actually happening inside his brain? He isn't thinking, "Wow, she is a vision of organizational excellence. I must marry her." No, his brain takes a massive psychological nap. He thinks, "Awesome, I don't have to lift a finger here. The relationship elevator is taking me straight to the top floor, and I didn't even have to press the button." Here's the cold, hard truth. Attachment in men is fueled by anticipation and investment. If there is absolutely no gap between his desire to see you and your availability, anticipation dies. And when anticipation dies, attraction follows it right out the door. When you overfunction out of anxiety, because you're terrified that if you don't keep the fire burning, it'll go out, you rob him of the chance to miss you. Comfort does not breed attachment in high-value men. Challenge and investment do. If a man doesn't have to sweat, even just a little bit, to keep your attention, his brain registers you as a certainty. And human beings rarely protect what they think is guaranteed. What to stop doing? The attachment killer. So, how do we fix this? It requires a massive mental shift. You need to move away from doing and step comfortably into being. You aren't a project manager. You are the prize. Let's look at the first two major items on your new stop list that will instantly change the dynamic. Number 1, stop micromanaging the momentum. If a conversation lulls for a few hours, let it lull. You do not need to send a meme, a TikTok, or a "Hey, what are you up to?" just to revive the chat. I promise you, the silence won't kill him. In fact, that silence is where his attraction grows. It's during that quiet window that he looks at his phone and thinks, "Wait, she hasn't texted me back. I wonder what she's doing right now. Is she out? Is she mad at me? Did I lose her interest?" That mild panic? That's him investing his mental energy into you. If you double text to fill the void, you rescue him from his own thoughts, and he goes right back to coasting. Number 2, stop auditioning for the wife role. This is a massive one. If you've only been dating a guy for 3 weeks, stop cooking him elaborate 3-course dinners at your apartment. Stop offering to do his laundry when he mentions he's behind on chores. And please, for the love of all things holy, stop offering him deep, pro bono emotional counseling sessions for his childhood trauma. When you do this, you are giving a man full access husband privileges on a free trial subscription. He gets the emotional intimacy, the domestic comfort, and the safety of a committed relationship without having to make a single promise to you. Why would he buy the cow when you're delivering the milk, the cheese, and the premium leather directly to his doorstep for free? Keep your standards high and make sure he earns the right to experience the full depth of your nurturing side. Moving on to number 3 on the stop list, stop rearranging your schedule for last-minute logistics. Let me paint a picture. It's Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. You are in your sweatpants, face mask on, halfway through a glass of wine, and your phone buzzes. It's him. Hey, free tonight? Just wrapped up some work. Wanted to see if you wanted to grab a drink. Now, your instinct is to jump up, wash off the face mask, throw on your best jeans, and run out the door because you really want to see him. Do not do it. Unless there is a literal emergency, a last-minute text like that isn't a date request. It's a convenience check. If you cancel your gym session, your plans with your friends, or even your scheduled night of doing absolutely nothing just to accommodate his lack of planning, you are sending a loud, clear message to his subconscious. My time is cheap, and my life revolves around your availability. As a guy, I can tell you that if a man realizes he can access you on demand with zero advance notice, his respect for your time plummets. Instead, give him a warm, polite rejection. Tell him, "I'd love to see you, but I've got plans tonight. Let me know if you're free sometime next week so we can schedule something." Boom. You just flipped the script. You didn't get angry, you weren't mean, you were sweet, but you showed him that your time is a limited, high-value asset. Watch how fast he opens his calendar to book a real date for next time. And number 4, stop guessing his intentions. Stop holding late-night FBI summits with your group chat trying to decipher why he used a period instead of an exclamation mark. If his actions aren't clear, his interest isn't ready. When you stop obsessively trying to figure him out, you reclaim your mental peace, and men can feel that shift in energy from a mile away. The psychology of male attachment. Now let's look under the hood of male psychology. How do men actually bond? Men are tribal, goal-oriented creatures by nature. From an evolutionary standpoint, we are wired to value what we build, what we protect, and what we have to sacrifice for. If a man walks into a casino, puts a single dollar into a slot machine, and wins $1 million, he'll be thrilled. But he won't respect the money. He'll throw it away. But if that same man works 80 hours a week for 10 years to build a business, he will guard that business with his life. Why? Because of the sweat equity. Dating works exactly the same way. It follows a simple psychological equation. Effort leads to investment, leads to value, leads to attachment. The more effort a man puts into winning your time, the more he invests emotionally. The more he invests, the more he values you. And that value is the absolute foundation of deep, long-term male attachment. You might have heard of a concept called the hero instinct. A lot of people misunderstand this. It doesn't mean a man wants to fly around in a cape and save you from a burning building. It means a man has a biological need to feel useful, effective, and successful in the eyes of the woman he desires. When you overfunction, when you solve every problem, plan every date, and drive the relationship forward, you completely rob him of the opportunity to be your hero. You take away his job. And when a man feels like he has no job to do in your life, he walks away to find a job somewhere else. Don't be the provider of logistics. Be the gracious receiver of his efforts. Let him open the heavy door. Let him figure out where to park. Let him step into the vacuum you create when you step back, and let him earn his place. Look, I want to be entirely clear before we wrap up today. This isn't about playing immature mind games. This isn't about being cold, calculating, or acting like you don't care. This is about having the radical self-worth to step back and give a man the space to show you who he truly is. If you are constantly holding the relationship together with both hands, you can never actually know if he's staying because he wants to, or if he's just coasting on your effort. So, I'm leaving you with a challenge this week. Let's call it the 72-hour space challenge. For the next 3 days, I want you to step back just 10%. Do not send the first text. Do not suggest the next hangout. If he reaches out to you, Be absolutely radiant, sweet, and enthusiastic. But leave the logistics to him. Watch how quickly a high-value man shifts his gears when he realizes the relationship elevator isn't moving unless he presses the button. A man who truly wants to be in your life will do whatever it takes to step up and keep your attention. Respect yourself enough to let him show you. If you found value in today's male perspective, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below letting me know if you're taking the 72-hour challenge. I'll see you in the next video.